No, if anything, the cardiac machine is going to help
Help.
give, because what the idea of a CPR is that you're kind of squeezing the heart for itself.
Okay.
If the heart's not being on its own, you're pushing it to squeeze out the blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So, um, that 5 minute long period, and then I saw that EMS they only had to do 2 minutes of CPR. It seems like.
Okay.
And so we'll have to wait and see. We'll get an MRI of her brain,
Okay.
likely tomorrow or the day after, to kind of see. It'll give us a better picture of her brain in terms of any further damage that was done.
Yeah.
Now, did they do that? What night she came? Because remember when we were leaving one
Friday
night, I
morning
think they
we were
said
leaving.
they was gonna do her stuff and put her up in the room.
Yeah, ICU.
So
That was
did
Friday
they ever
morning.
do
So they got the CT of the head. This is a different scan. This is an MRI. So the damage that comes from not having oxygen go to the brain, it causes the cells to swell. That process happens slowly. So usually it takes days before you see it on actual imaging. And so that's why either tomorrow or the day after that is when we'll send her. Because that's when we would see it actually on imaging. In terms of her lungs, she does have a pneumonia, but thankfully, she's actually on very minimal oxygen settings via the ventilator, and she's actually breathing on her own right now.
Thank you, God. Come on, Grandma. Good news.
In terms of her,
they're still giving her the antibiotics.
Yes.
She had some kind of
yes. So she has two. She has the one in her lungs, and she has the urine infection. So she's on an antibiotic for that. It is still affecting her blood pressure. She's on those vasopressor medications. You could think of those like chemical life support. Okay. So she's on 3 different forms of life support. The ventilator is what people typically hear on TV shows as life support, but it's really just lung support. So it's just breathing for her. And then the chemical life support are the medications that are keeping her blood pressure up.
Yeah, that's what the lady was explaining to me when I kept saying, you keep saying her vitals are normal, but you still have her hooked up, and that's when she broke it down to me.
Normal relative to the support that she's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know with Granny in Mississippi, some of the medications that were given were causing the UTI. Is that something you guys could look into? You heard of that before?
They just started these medicines on her. But she was just here Tuesday, and that's what we were trying to figure out. Did she have the UTI when she was in here Tuesday, or did she develop the UTI between Tuesday and Thursday night? Because we brought her in, it was like 12 o'clock Friday morning when she came in.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but no one said anything about a UTI when she was here. She had been hospitalized over a week. Then, but no one never really gave us a diagnosis of what was going on while she was here. And I know they did the endoscopy for the gastrointestinal to check and see, because she was complaining of her stomach, and they did the endoscopy to see if it was something enlarged up in here. But everything was clear. You know, on the images and everything.
Friday, 3 occupational therapists were scheduled to come to the house.
PT, OT, and ST.
Yeah, but this happened Thursday night.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so did they call Friday morning? You said all 3 of them had called?
That's what she said, all 3 of them had called. Yeah, so I knew it had to be PT, OT, and ST.
They supposed to came between 9:30 and 12:30. She gave me that time.
Gotcha.
But yeah, she was hospitalized that night.
Is there any good news that we should be happy about? Anything positive that's really good to know?
That's a good question.
Moving girl.
Yeah, I love to see her moving and her breathing. That's beautiful.
We see you.
So overall, big picture,